Good afternoon, everybody. I wanted to pop in here this afternoon and talk to you about being overwhelmed and stressed, which most people are. So, the idea here is if you're overwhelmed and stressed out and you can't possibly think of any other way, like time to fit in working out or eating right or going to the grocery store, you want to listen a little bit longer. So the way that I teach this to my clients, and I also use this for myself and multiple coaches, this is just like a fundamental thing for time management, is going to be something called time blocking. So in order to use your time effectively, you really need to have a plan, just like everything else in life. So if we all do things willy-nilly and be like, oh, I got to do this, oh, I got to do that, oh, I forgot to do this, the brain just can't handle all of that without it being written down on a piece of paper or on your calendar. The more we have to try to remember in our brain, the more we're going to forget. So that's why lists and calendars are very helpful to keep that stress and overwhelm from taking over, because you're trying to keep it inside of your brain, put it on a piece of paper, put it on a calendar. So the best way to do this would, especially the way I do it and try to tell my clients who are not afraid of technology, would be to use Google Calendar. So Google Calendar is really handy because you can move things around. I know there's a lot of people who still like to do the journaling in by hand. It's just a little bit harder to move things around. It doesn't give you as much flexibility, but that's totally fine. So what the best thing you can do is, so you have more time management, also quality time. It's also about quality time while you're doing things with your business, your family, um, your leisure activities. You're not thinking about all these other things, because that's another fundamental to our mental health, which also affects our weight, is being able to be in the moment to reduce our stress levels so we are able to lose fat more easily and not be so depressed and stressed out. Oh, hey, Virginia. Yeah, it doesn't matter how old you are. It's just our brains, we're adults. We can't handle all the stuff that happens in the world and all the things we have to remember, whether you have kids or don't have kids. There is too many responsibilities. So if we don't write things down, our brains just dump them out or we forget them. And I walked into a room a million times and forgot what I am supposed to be doing. So this is why a calendar is really helpful, especially an electronic one, is to be very present in everything that you're doing. So, an instance for weight loss, let's say you're trying really hard to get in workouts. Maybe it's only 10 minutes, right? Because we have to meet you where you're at. Maybe it's 10 minutes, maybe it's a half an hour. You're going to block out that 10 minutes or 30 minutes, whatever is reasonable for you, during that week. So maybe it's just Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Maybe it's just Monday, Wednesday while you start to learn to build that habit. And then you're going to do a time block for going to the grocery store, so it's on there, like something that's a regular habit. Because remember, we're trying to build habits. Everything can be built into a habit, so it's more natural and you don't have to think about it anymore. The less we have to think about something, the less energy we use, and the more we can make cognitive good decisions later on in the day when it comes to food and everything else. um, so we want to time block everything. I'm talking literally almost everything. So I time block when I'm going to the grocery store. I time block when I'm going to work out. I time block out when I'm going to work on business tasks. I time out when I'm going to write an email block, which is technically a business task. I time block out when I'm going to work on professional education for myself. If it doesn't happen to work out that day because life happens, remember we have to account for life and we can't beat ourselves up for not following our calendar strictly 100%, because that's not realistic, right? So what you do and what I do is you take that little block of time. Let's say today I wasn't able to get to my NLP study that I wanted to, independent study. I'm in a group, but I wasn't able to get to that, so I moved it later into the day. And if I don't get to it today, which I will, then I'm not going to cry and I'm not going to be upset that I didn't get it done. Um, it's okay. You want to be good to yourself, but you want to be able to give yourself some structure. So you would plan quality time with your family. So anytime maybe you want to sit down and watch a half an hour with your husband or wife, whoever happens to be watching this, because it's not in my group. Yeah, I'm on my Facebook page. Uh, or if you want to take your dog for a walk, I have to schedule that too to make sure I do it. I love to walk, but life gets busy. So when I have it on a schedule, it helps me be accountable for myself. Even though I want to do it, I still helps me to see it. And then I have the flexibility to know that I can move it if I need to move it on a calendar. But you want to make certain things a priority in your life. And this is going to be family time, time for your wellness, whether that's, grocery shopping to make sure you have appropriate foods in your house. You're not grabbing for constant potato chips because you're tired and you're ornery from working all day long. Leisure time, whether it's watching TV. I don't put watching TV down for that. That just kind of happens sporadically throughout the day. Reading a book. Maybe you really, really, really want to get to that book that you've wanting to read for like the last year. You just haven't done it yet. The best way to do it is to schedule that on your calendar. Maybe it's just maybe 15 minutes every day before bed, whatever makes sense to you. But the only way to get something rolling forward is to initiate some sort of action. And I believe, and it works best for my clients, is to get it on the calendar. So it's in your brain. It's important, just like a meeting or a doctor's appointment. You're going to put that on your calendar, right? Yeah. So if this other stuff is important to you, you're going to put it on your calendar knowing that it's okay if you possibly miss it, but you're just going to reschedule it to another day. So again, you have that flexibility of your Google Calendar. So any other questions at all about time blocking? Was I clear enough about that? So I do use colors to help me distinguish between like my personal tasks and my business tasks, and then like working out for me. Virginia, have you ever tried that? I'm not sure if you're the one who's still on or not. I know Facebook's got a little bit of a delay, so I'm not really sure. Okay, so that's basically what I wanted to touch base with you guys. It's super possible to reclaim some of that time that you've had by doing a little bit more time organization with doing time blocking on your calendar. It works wonders. I mean, it works so many times for so many people and so many of my clients that I did not want to hold that back from you guys. So if you have any questions about that, go ahead and type in the box and reach out and let me know if you have any questions. But otherwise, you ladies and gentlemen have a great afternoon, and there is a link down below if you are a lady 40 or over. I would love to have you join my group. That's going to help you learn the behavior and rewiring the brain and how to build appropriate habits to have successful long-term weight loss. All right, thanks everybody. Have a great night, or wherever you are in the part of the world.